Okay, welcome to Doris's Kitchen. Now today we're making molasses cake. Alright, so first ingredient. Now molasses cake you can either do in cake form or you can do it in cupcakes. Depending on, whether you have teenagers or kids in the house and stuff, but when we were kids, it was always in a cake form, so this is what I'm going to do. I've done one batch already in cupcake form, just for you. So, we're going to mix a half a cup of brown sugar. Whoops, I got to get a spoon. Forgot to add the spoon. Added everything else on the table. Okay. So we have a half a cup of shortening. Okay. 1 cup of molasses. And molasses is very good for you and very, very healthy. The old days they cooked an awful lot with molasses because it had a lot of value. And it still does today, only the younger generation don't care so much for it. Okay, we're going to stir that up a little bit just to start blending it. If you start early on blending it, then it makes it a little bit easier down the road as you continue with your ingredients. Okay, now we're going to add a cup of hot water. Okay, I'm going to continue to stir that. Okay, and then we have a teaspoon of allspice. That's just to add all the good flavors to it. Okay, and for rising purposes and stuff, we have 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Now we're really getting there as far as the ingredients, huh? Alright, so now instead of using the spoon, when you start adding my flour, you can use a mixer if you use a mixer. I'm not a mixer user. Okay, I'm going to add 2 cups of flour. There you go. And 2 eggs. Okay, I'm going to stir that all up. Okay, so let's go over what we added in here. We added a half a cup of brown sugar, a half a cup of shortening, 1 cup of molasses, 1 cup of hot water, 1 teaspoon of allspice, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Now if you only have 1 egg, that's okay, because remember you already have your baking soda, that's your rising ingredient. So if you only have 1 egg in the house, this is still a recipe you can make. Now you can make this either for a cake or you can make it in cupcake. If you go the cake form, you bake, of course, at 350 degrees for about 35 minutes. Now learn your oven. If you're doing cupcakes, you still bake at 350, but you only go like 20 minutes, okay? And double check it at 20 minutes because depending on your oven and stuff, and the way to check is just put your toothpick in the center of a cupcake. If nothing sticks to the toothpick, you're good. Okay, so if you got young kids and stuff, you can turn around and frost them, then they won't know no different. But molasses, the ingredient in here, is really good for blood pressure. Okay? It's also very good, you know when you get the muscle cramps in the back of your legs? Well, this was like an old-time remedy that they used in the old days. Okay, you got a lot of cramps because they worked hard in the woods and outside, and people worked a lot harder, so they had a lot of cramps in their legs and stuff like that. So their spouse or whatever would cook up something with molasses. Of course, every Saturday night you had your baked beans, you definitely had your molasses there. But it's really good for molasses and stuff. It's also really good for potassium. So, you know, people who have high blood pressure, sometimes your blood pressure medication, because they didn't know everything in the old days, would take potassium from your body. I've been through it. So, it's also good for potassium. And of course, the molasses is high with iron. So this is really healthy and really, really good. Okay. So see how easy it is to make a molasses cake? Now if you want to, when you're done, when you baked it and everything, you can frosting it up for people who need to take care of that sweet tooth, even though molasses is a sweetener all by itself. You can add frosting to it. If you like raisins, and if you're able to have walnuts or whatever, you can add that to it, and add whatever you want to it for extra. Okay, or you can leave it like that, slice it up, serve it with some whipped cream, and there you go. So you can do it in cupcake form, or you can do it in cake form. And this is very healthy for you. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed my baking with you today. Bye-bye now.